In 1982, a little girl was born in Brooklyn, New York. She had long eyelashes, big eyes, dark hair, and fair skin, resembling a real-life Snow White from fairy tales. With her adorable appearance and cheerful personality, she was adored by everyone and cherished by her family. As she grew a little older, she developed an interest in performing, encouraged by her family, and started acting in stage plays. Her shining performances on stage caught her attention and led to opportunities in television dramas. Just as one would imagine for a beautiful girl passionate about acting, her life was smooth and carefree. At the age of 18, she resolved to try her hand at acting in films and successfully auditioned. It was a Disney movie where she portrayed a girl who discovers she actually has a royal lineage and ultimately becomes a princess. This film opened the doors to the world of acting for her, ushering her into the fame and glamour of Hollywood. This beautiful girl's name is Anne Hathaway. In 2001, Anne Hathaway shot to stardom with her first major film, The Princess Diaries. During her youthful and tender years, she also starred in another fairytale-themed movie, Enchanted, solidifying her image as a teenage idol. Her sweet innocence, graceful slender figure, and doll-like delicate features briefly made her synonymous with princesses. Anne Hathaway's early acting career was remarkably smooth, but what she didn't expect was that the label of being a Disney teen idol not only limited her opportunities but also became one of the reasons for future criticisms against her. The once carefree and perfect girl from Brooklyn, New York, experienced the malice and fickleness of human nature for the first time upon entering Hollywood. Anne Hathaway did not go through the typical struggles many young actors face when trying to break into Hollywood, auditioning everywhere just to land a minor role. Her stage experience and striking appearance led her to be fortunate enough to land the role of Princess Mia in The Princess Diaries during her first major audition. The film was successful, catapulting her to fame at a young age. However, Hathaway's real acting challenges began after she became a star. Hollywood pigeonholed her as a teen idol and princess, which resulted in many rejections later on for more serious roles. It wasn't until she took on daring, explicit nude scenes in the film Havoc that she finally shed her Disney princess image. Her role in Brokeback Mountain showcased her acting prowess beyond youthful charm, marking her transition to being seen as a serious actress. Her portrayal in The Devil Wears Prada reaffirmed her status as a leading lady beloved by audiences. In 2008, she received her first Oscar nomination for Best Actress for her role in Rachel Getting Married, where she portrayed a character struggling with addiction. As an actress, her talent and stage presence are unquestionable. What exactly led to the later influx of negative criticism remains unknown. 2012 was Anne Hathaway's year. Turning 30 that year, she swept major awards for her performance in Les Misérables and went on to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress the following year. In the same year, she also garnered attention for her role as Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. One would expect her acting career to skyrocket, but it was also this year that she faced an unprecedented public relations crisis. Strangely, no one could pinpoint exactly what caused the crisis. Suddenly, there was a surge of online hostility towards Anne Hathaway, with many criticizing her as insincere and pretentious. Her seemingly perfect image appeared overly calculated and made people uncomfortable. The first wave of criticism against Anne Hathaway emerged during the 2012 awards season. Critics felt that Hathaway's demeanor during her acceptance speeches was overly theatrical and sometimes seemed rehearsed to the point of insincerity. Upon winning a Golden Globe, she remarked, "Thank you for this lovely trophy. I will forevermore use it as a weapon against self-doubt," a statement perceived as overly dramatic and emotionally excessive. At the Oscars, when she won Best Supporting Actress, her tearful first words, "It came true," were also seen as staged and calculated. Even the gown she wore on the ceremony day became a topic of scrutiny. She later explained that she had switched to that dress last minute because she discovered Amanda Seyfried would be wearing a similar one, and out of courtesy, Hathaway opted for a different outfit. However, she found the fabric on the replacement gown awkward around the chest area, but it was too late to change again as the ceremony was about to begin. During this period, it seemed like Anne Hathaway couldn't do anything right. every time she appeared on screen, it drew criticism. After the Oscars ceremony that year, Anne Hathaway finally relaxed and casually picked up her phone to browse, only to come across a confusing article titled, "Why Does Everyone Hate Anne Hathaway?" Much of the hatred directed at Anne Hathaway revolved around her manner of speaking, public image, and even her appearance, rather than any actual wrongdoing on her part. In short, people just felt something was off about her, that she was too perfect and must be hiding something, that it was all an act. When it comes to Anne Hathaway's public image, she has always been perceived as someone who speaks with positive rhetoric and embodies the image of America's sweetheart. Such an image might have been deemed appropriate when she was a teenager, but as she has grown older, people find it unreasonable for an adult woman to constantly espouse positivity. To make matters worse, the previous year she co-hosted the Oscars with James Franco, which was widely regarded as the worst hosting in history. The reason behind this was the complete lack of chemistry between the two hosts, and Hathaway appeared overly energetic throughout, while James Franco seemed visibly disinterested, making Hathaway's efforts on stage seem forced and amplifying the public's perception of her as insincere. James Franco didn't spare Anne Hathaway privately either, as he mentioned in interviews afterward about his lackluster performance, jokingly saying that Hathaway's exuberance made anyone standing next to her appear dull. In 2012, it was very popular to compare women against each other, and during that era, being a cool girl was a positive term. All girls wanted to be seen as cool rather than appearing perfect like Anne Hathaway. In 2013, The Cut published an article titled "Why Do Women Hate Anne Hathaway, but Love Jennifer Lawrence?", which pointed out this phenomenon. In 2013, Jennifer Lawrence swept various major awards and also won the Best Actress Oscar that year. Before going up on stage, she clumsily stumbled, which became a joke. Her endearing antics such as not finding the camera during interviews, and openly admitting she was hungry and wanted pizza burgers later, were in stark contrast to Anne Hathaway's elegant and reserved demeanor. Lawrence's candid and unaffected attitude was very appealing and garnered her many female fans. Throughout that year's Oscars, comparisons between the two continued, and ultimately, internet users concluded that Anne Hathaway was insincere while Jennifer Lawrence was seen as a woman's best friend. Perhaps what female audiences like to see is the vulnerable side, the flaws being shown. Therefore, there's a situation that female public figures tend to fall into. If they appear too confident or show any hint of reveling in their success, they might be attacked. They must appear most humble, calm, diligent, or be like Jennifer Lawrence, who is very funny. This seems to be the ideal female public figure. Interestingly, Jennifer Lawrence also has audiences who dislike her. Some find her speech rude. In short, pleasing everyone is extremely difficult. It's worth noting that this phenomenon of disliking someone simply because you find something wrong with them tends to happen more often to female celebrities. Taylor Swift has had similar experiences, with her supermodel-like appearance combined with her creative talent and extensive social circle. She has been considered too perfect and similarly attracted malicious criticism. In the music industry for decades, Taylor Swift, who debuted very early, has pointed out many unfair aspects for women. However, those who do not like Taylor Swift may be able to more easily identify clues, such as her long-standing conflict with Kanye West. On the other hand, people who dislike Anne Hathaway have no reason to dislike her. It seems they find her annoying just because she exists. Due to the inexplicable nature of these people who dislike Anne Hathaway, psychologists have also offered insights into why she is disliked, such as using the concept of the pratfall effect to explain why being too perfect can be off-putting. This theory, tested by psychologist Elliot Aronson, involves having participants listen to recordings of people answering a quiz. Some recordings include the sound of someone accidentally knocking over a coffee cup. When participants are asked to rate how likable these respondents are, the group where the coffee spill occurred tends to receive higher ratings. For someone you don't particularly respect, knocking over coffee doesn't add any charm. However, if a well-regarded person spills coffee, it changes perceptions. Essentially, when a capable person makes a mistake, it can make them more endearing. For instance, someone like Jennifer Lawrence, who has acting prowess and shows some dorkiness in private, is particularly appealing. Dr. Forney from Johns Hopkins University suggested that what is happening to Anne Hathaway is a kind of collective human instinctive behavior. Collective attacks on someone can, in a twisted way, bring pleasure because the sense of belonging to a group of like-minded individuals activates the brain's pleasure centers. It's the sense of having a common enemy with a group of people. Regardless of the reasons, we can be certain that what happened to Anne Hathaway is extremely unfair. She is not the enemy of women. Her struggles and anxieties are the same as those faced by every woman. She worries about what others think, so she tries to appear perfect. She also faces bullying and discrimination, and in fact, she often takes action to counter the harassment she experiences. In several interviews, when confronted with rude interviewers, she has consistently stood up for herself while maintaining her composure. So, we can say that while Anne Hathaway might be a sweetheart, she is also a brave woman who is not afraid to stand up for herself. She mentioned in an interview that she feels sad that we live in a world where people not only fail to stand up for those who show vulnerability but also exploit that vulnerability. Her experiences suggest that this is also a world where spreading kindness and maintaining a positive attitude are seen as having ulterior motives, and showing empathy is considered a sign of weakness. Years later, Anne Hathaway has moved past the online bullying she experienced. Reflecting on the period after winning the Oscar when she had no work due to poor public perception, she finds it quite absurd. She is grateful to Christopher Nolan for casting her in Interstellar, which helped her come out of that low point. Nowadays, the voices of those who disliked her have gradually faded, although occasionally there are still unpleasant comments when she follows her heart and remains true to herself. Recently, during the promotion of the Idea review, she was surrounded by fans on the street, many of whom requested photos. Her response to these requests was also scrutinized and discussed. The reason why female public figures are more likely to receive comments about their attitudes is related to societal expectations of women. This world often expects more emotional value from women, such as being considerate, tolerant, calm, and providing a sense of tranquility. In contrast, the expectations for men are more focused on being strong, confident, or productive.